We want to kind of go a lot deeper into why we chose very much early on to specialize in catch-up cleanup bookkeeping, because it is a little bit, it can be kind of intense and it can often feel a little bit scary. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen prospects where their bookkeeping is not just months behind, often it can be years behind. And it's just, sometimes it's like untouched. It's not even, really, nothing's real, like things are going on in the business, but if you were to look at the numbers, it's like a ghost town. And so that doesn't reflect reality. We've seen people where they've come to us and all they have is statements. They have a they have a bank statement. That's it. They don't have anything in Excel, nothing. So that's more of a catch-up cleanup situation, as well as definitely a cloud setup. So we partner with two software that would be QuickBooks Online or Xero. So we kind of assess, you know, the business owner's needs and kind of see which one is the most appropriate. So, still very much like a customized, tailored approach. But yeah, it is messy, it is complicated, and we probably are a little bit nuts for leaning into that, but we absolutely love it. And I can tell you before I tell you why we love it so much and what motivates us about this, I want to tell you I want to tell you what other bookkeepers what they say about it, because most bookkeepers will say straight up, we don't take on messy files. Come back once you're caught up. It's just not something that we
Yeah.
we like doing.
We went to, like, it was a Zero event a few years ago, and we talked about the fact that we did catch up cleanup, and the people at the conference were floored. They're like, what? Whoa.
Yeah, they're like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of accountants, there's a lot of bookkeepers that go to the Xero annual conference, like the Xero Roadshow, as well as QuickBooks Online conference. And look, I get it. Like, catch up work is not easy. Cleanup work is not easy. And I get it. It's a lot to handle. But here's the big thing though. You can't get ahead in your business if you're stuck in the past.
Hmm.
And I think that's where so many small business owners remain. They just get stuck and it's like a narrative that they're telling themselves, like, oh, I'll never get this done. I don't know how to get out of this. Who can I turn to? Who can I trust? That because this is a lot of embarrassment, a lot of shame. And sometimes, sadly, sometimes it's we've seen instances where sometimes it's another bookkeeper, another bookkeeping firm that has created the mess, or things like that. So it's not necessarily the business owner has neglected it or done DIY work when they shouldn't have. One other thing that I wanted to mention as well is that we are licensed bookkeepers and we are members of an organization called Pure Bookkeeping. It's kind of like a membership where there's a lot of basically like a global membership, really. There's a lot of Canadian bookkeepers and American bookkeepers. There's a few Zoom calls that happen in a week. The important thing to note here is that they are recorded Zoom calls. So I often like will watch the replay and I see the body language. I see the bookkeepers on there. They'll say, "Oh, I got to catch up," and like they're kind of feeling a bit stressed about it. So
Hmm.
I like to approach it from a different angle of like, I
Yeah.
really want to help you transform
Yeah.
the books. So,
And for me, I really like a cleanup because it's like this intensive where you basically get an opportunity to, like, do a deep dive into the client file. So it's a way that, like, when we are on to the month over month bookkeeping, we really know a client file. And
mm,
I need to say, if you feel like, oh man, it's just I'm way too far behind, I'm getting embarrassed,
mm,
like, don't. We're people. Stuff happens. Life happens.
yeah,
Like we're life is hard. I mean, stuff
mm,
happens, things happen, businesses is even harder.
mm,
So give yourself
some
a
grace.
break. Yeah, give yourself some grace, and
Yeah.
but I love it. I love the mystery. I love the challenge. I love we really get to know a new client because we get to such a history of their file. So
I love the point you just made there because it's so true. It's like It's honestly like a crash course. We feel kind of like we're crashing into the numbers because, I mean, our process really is we'll have kind of like an introduction call and we'll get to know you as a person. We'll kind of get to know you as a business owner just kind of quickly and kind of understand your pain points and where you want to what you want to why you started this whole thing, this entrepreneurial path, like why you started the business in the first place because it's a huge deal to be a business owner. That's a big commitment. And what kind of commitment is it? We've dealt with people where some of them have 9 to 5, and this is like their side hustle. And now the side hustle is now overtaking, revenue wise anyway, overtaking the income from the 9 to 5. But I would say majority of the time, because those are kind of like the exceptions, not the rule. Majority of the people that we talk to, this is everything. This is their baby and they're nurturing it and they're wanting it to grow. And we all know that with growth, there's a lot of pain. And the numbers you cannot afford you literally cannot afford to neglect them. I will just say that. We're not just cleaning up a mess, we're not just catching you up. We're really exposing things in the numbers. There's a lot of potential in the business that's gone missing. For example, there could be many, many, many profit leaks. There's a lot of unclaimed deductions. We're tracking everything. So we often take a quick snapshot of what the numbers look like before and what they look like after the transformation, after we're done this catch up cleanup project. So it's it is important to make sure that you not only hire someone that is a professional and is a seasoned bookkeeper. I would caution anyone that has a mess of numbers, or if they even just want a second opinion of what their numbers look like, you definitely want a seasoned person. You want a veteran. You want someone that's been doing this for a number of years, really. You also want someone like figure out, like, because some bookkeepers often they will specialize in certain industries as well. We know bookkeepers that specialize in e-commerce, for example. Some other bookkeepers specialize in, freelancers or something. But I often find that when it comes to catch up cleanup, the bookkeeper is not impressed and definitely not enthusiastic. This is basically just an observation that I've seen across the board, whether they're in Canada or in the States. This is just a thing that I keeps on coming up that I've seen. And this is why we had that response, kind of that reaction from a rep at Xero at that conference a couple of years ago or so. So I knew that we were kind of we were tapping into something that was different. But yeah, a typical scenario really is a client, you may not have filed taxes in 2 years. You're kind of guesstimating how much you may be owing. You have no idea whether your business is actually profitable. It feels like it might be, but you're kind of just guessing. You're constantly panicking. You're kind of have that higher anxiety than normal. You're anxious. You're feeling anxious about just what you don't know. This is where we come in. We basically untangle everything and just rebuild everything. And our goal really is to make you feel a lot more confident and actually make you feel positive about the numbers again, like feeling a lot more stable. We want to see the numbers stabilize. We really, really do. And we've done it so often that we have finessed the process and it's just become, yeah, like very process heavy and just we really kind of tightened that up. And the payoff is huge. Once your books are clean, once your books are up to date, and you have someone in your corner taking care of all of that, because you're a busy business owner, it's not really appropriate for you to do the books. I'm the bookkeeper that's going to tell you that, unless you want to seriously grow, and we've seen clients grow this year, and they continue to every year that we work with them, you're going to stop guessing and start planning for the future, and you're going to know exactly where your money is going. And then you can pay yourself larger sums, or you can even just pay yourself. Some business owners, they don't pay themselves for the longest time. And that honestly breaks my heart. Again, there should be no embarrassment, no shame around that. But unfortunately, that is quite common. In school, we don't learn, like, it drives me crazy that in high school there's no real entrepreneurial path or entrepreneurial course taught to junior high or high school students. I think that needs to change. Um, and you can finally stop dreading tax season because, again, you have someone in your corner to field questions from CRA. If there's an audit that happens, you want someone else objectively looking at your numbers, not you yourself looking at the numbers and dealing with the CRA phone calls and CRA correspondence. And the big one for us is once you're caught up, advisory light, that's when you're going to get advice from your bookkeeper. You're not going to get just reports. You're going to get like a meeting and you're going to get someone helping you, guiding you through to help you spot things in your books. And that's the power of it all right there. That's when things go well and when things are corrected. So yeah, I think Stephen and I are probably a little bit crazy for loving this kind of work, but I don't care. I love making sure that business owners are taken care of because I keep on thinking about those statistics. And I firmly believe that the business owners who need the most help should not be turned away because things are messy. Actually, they need the help the most.
Mm. We've talked to a few clients and a few prospects, and they're so embarrassed. I'm like, don't be embarrassed. Like,
Mm,
I can't stress that enough. We actually do like a diagnostic, which normally is $250, but right now it would be at no cost. And we can sit down, take a look at your books, take a look at your finances, and let you know what steps you can take. We can just help demystify it a little bit for you. So,
Essentially, what we're looking at 20 areas in your file. 20 areas because here's the thing. Here's the thing I've been learning as a first-time business owner. In business, we don't know what we don't know. So, with things like this, you definitely want to get an opinion. You definitely want to get someone looking at your numbers and kind of telling you if things are looking off or if things are looking really good. At the end of the day, it's about the clarity and it's about you feeling a lot more confident and you beating those odds of the small business failure statistics because frankly those are terrifying and we're on a mission. We're on a mission to talk to a lot of people and to really make noise in the market. So people may say that, oh, you shouldn't be, don't lean into catch up cleanup, like it's impossible. Those people are, you know, I've just heard things that aren't really nice to hear that other bookkeepers and accountants have said, and I'm like, no, no, they're actually the ones that need the most help, and that's our mission. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we're here for you.
yep.